cacti and succulent growers, I'm Lynn. Welcome to Desert Plants of Avalon in the north of Ireland. And happy St Patrick's Day to you if you celebrate it. It's St Patrick's Day here in Ireland. And I thought the perfect video to do today will be potting on my 7-year-old Mammillaria spinosissima red-headed Irishman cactus seedlings. And my little seedlings, this is the red-headed Irishman here, and I used to have 2 of these, and the seedlings that I've got that I'm going to be potting up in this video actually came from my other plant that very sadly died last year. I made a video at the time. I think what must have happened over the winter, a mouse or something got into it and bit, or something, some wound got into it, and the whole plant got fungus internally and it broke apart. And if you didn't see that rather sad video that I made at the time, then do go ahead and watch it after this one, and I'll link that video up above. This is my other red-headed Irishman that I have here, and it's doing very, very well. And it has it's a Mammillaria that has gorgeous red gingery spines, hence the name, the red-headed Irishman. And my little Mammillaria spinosissima red-headed Irishman seedlings are seedlings that I grow from seed from my other plant that died, so they're extra special, and I'm going to be potting them up in this video and sharing the whole process with you all. So I'm going to be taking you upstairs into my grow room and show you the cuties and show you the potting up. Now these are the 3 little cuties, Mammillaria spinosissima red-headed Irishman, and they look very different, but I can assure you they are from the same seeds. This one here, you can actually start to see the little red spines actually starting to go red, gingery colour, the typical sign with red-headed Irishman on this one. However, these 2, you wouldn't know they were just normal Mammillarias. In fact, this one has got no signs. It has at the very top, you can see there, it's going red. But other than that, it's still pretty white spines. And this one here is not looking good at all. And as you can see, my old plant that died, this is from the seed from that. And it's really, you know, funny enough, this was actually quite red. You can see probably there a bit of the red spines, and this is the new growth coming up the top here, but it's really not good. So I don't know if this one is even going to make it or not. So this is why I want to repot them and check them. Roots are not necessarily coming through the bottom, but they definitely need a fresh repot because they're growing way too small. Usually Mammillaria seedlings will be much larger than this in 7 years. In fact, I can't really call them seedlings after 7 years, but they're still small. But anyway, I'll see what's going on with them. And I've made up the soil mix here of a well-draining cactus soil of 3 equal parts of loam, which is John Innes number 2, mixed with pumice and mixed with grit. So it's very well draining. And I've got the pots here, just slightly bigger than what they were up in before. These are like these little shot glasses that you get from Poundland and Dollarland and places like that. They're great for potting on seedlings. So a bit bigger, and just a fresh soil will make the world a difference. So I'm going to set the stand up and then show you potting these cutie pies up. Now, if you want to know how to grow cactus from seed, then do check out a video I've made on how to grow cacti from seed. Links to that video will be up above. Do go and watch that if you've never grown cacti from seed before. And I've got loads of seeds I want to sow this year as well, so I'm looking forward to that. So first I'm going to pot up this one that does not looking good. Now, it's got new growth at the top, and it did get hit by spider mite quite a few times, as you can see, that, which is why I think this has also stunted its growth. So there we go, Mammillaria spinosissima. In fact, it was the 24th of May 2017 I sown it, and it's still so way too tiny. So I'm just going to loosen this up here. Yep, happy days. Just shake it off. And it's got a great little root system, so it's not rotten or anything like that. It's just, and you see it's all green there, it's just very slow growing because it's been knocked back multiple times, I think, from mites and things like that, which is always the hardest thing when you have young seedlings. But it's coming through. This is all the new growth there, so that one's fine. And then I'm going to then and pot this one, squeeze the pot. Happy days. Oh, that's got a very good root system on it. Look at that. That does need a good repot. So soil is quite loose on that, so I'm just going to be shaking that a little bit just to loosen up the soil. It's going to love being a bit of fresh soil into it. Happy days. Other than that, it's healthy. And then this one. Again, loosen up the soil of that. Great little root system on that. And this is the biggest one of them all. And you can see that's definitely resembling more like the Mammillaria red-headed Irishman. Great little root system there. So there we go. Don't need to remove any more of the soil. So put them aside, and now all I have to do, is going to be very easy and hopefully not too long of a video for you guys. Put the soil in all these 3 pots here. There. Ta-da! So I'm going to pop this little one up first. So, yep, no problem there. It just needs to be a little bit more fresh soil, and I think it's going to recuperate well. As I say, it's already showing signs of new growth already, and I haven't watered these because when seedlings get to a certain stage, I treat them like the more mature cacti. Just see if you can see what I'm doing there by moving my hand away. Gentle tap, and that's so. People often say, when should they transplant seedlings? And I often, when I'm sowing seed, I leave them in the same pot as long as possible before transplanting them. But these, as I say, are 7-year. You would never think this was 7-year-old, almost anyway, because they're still they're far smaller than they should be. I sowed Mammillaria seeds in 2020, and late sort of 2020, the September time, and they're 4 times the size of these. So these have just been hit back a little bit, but they will soon grow well. So that's that one. First one here. That's the first one. And this little cutie pie. There. Easy enough. This one tapping the pot is to let the soil go down the sides, and then pushing it down with this blunt end of a spoon. And what I'm going to do when I've potted these up is I'm going to keep them dry until I start watering all of the cacti again, which will be in the April time, hopefully, weather permitting. Sometimes you have to, it's hard to say when I first start watering, because April is usually the beginning of April is when I normally start, certainly by the 2nd week. But if the weather happens to be very cold and it's really not good, I'll have to hold back until it starts to warm up. There we go. That's the 2nd little cutie pudding. And then the 3rd one, the biggest one here, which is great. There. So I think they just needed a bit of a fresh soil as well. Sometimes when plants don't need to be repotted, in other words, they're not outgrowing their pot, roots aren't coming through, anything like that, but they just don't seem to be growing much, then it's sometimes good just to take them from the pots and just change the soil and put fresh soil. And I find that gives them a kick to start coming back into growth again if they've been growing a bit slow. I have got quite a few in my polytunnel that don't need to be repotted, as in they don't need bigger pots. But I know that it's been a good few years before I have repotted them, and they seem to be slow growing, so a fresh repot, changing the soil, seems to do wonders to get them a bit of a kick again. So there we go, easy peasy. Them little 3 cuties. 1, 2, 3. So thanks so much for watching, everyone, and for lots more tips and tricks, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. Follow me on Insta, Twitter and Facebook at Desert Plants of Avalon, and check my website out for lots of regular articles on there and caring for cacti and succulents, as well as regular blogs. desertplantsofAvalon.com. I want to send you all tons of love and heaps of happiness, and until my next video, bye, 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 bye.